Continuing our look around then, let's take a look at some of the aerodynamics, because there is a lot going on here. You obviously have the central exhaust, but beside that you have the carbon fibre diffuser going on with these very aggressive vanes. There's a lot of aerodynamics at play, of course. Behind the front wheels you have some strakes that channel air around the car. It's all about airflow, as we were being explained in the presentation. There's active aerodynamic flaps towards the front as well, and of course that continues over the top with the air being channeled using the different sort of power lines across the top around the sides of the car. And in fact, we were being shown that this line that comes around here and then continues around the rear arch here, if you look from right above, is reminiscent of the Type 57 Atlantic. The shapes bear an exceptional resemblance to the legendary Bugatti Type 57, which is of course a very, very special and historically significant car. W16, 15 horsepower, showing us straight up there the power available from this car. We can catch a quick glimpse through there into the cabin. All the visible carbon around the centre section behind the Ettore Bugatti logo, the famous EB. It's actually quite a cool design here to these tail lights. Around all the sort of mesh and grills for the airflow to flow out through there. This is a very special opportunity to be able to look this close and personal to this new car. So I'll come back round towards the front where we can take a look at the shape of that central power line. It goes up here, you can see through the centre of the bonnet, goes through the cockpit, which we'll see in a second, and then continues over the roof towards the rear. And also an interesting feature is the dual tone of the door mirrors. But here these front grills are as wide as possible to allow the maximum amount of air to be caught, and the splitter itself as well, also designed for aerodynamic efficiency as well. So if I sneak towards the window, we can take a quick peek through that and just have a look at the inside. So one thing we were being shown is that the dashboard speedometer is an analog speedometer designed to look in the style of an expensive watch. It goes all the way from 0 to 500 kilometers an hour, with 250 being right at the 12 o'clock point and 500 being at the 5 p.m. point on the clock. The steering wheel has all the controls, so all the driver's own components can be found to the driver's side of the car. So on the wheel you'll have your media and entertainment, all your cruise control and the likes, and your driver handling modes are on the steering wheel. So I'll come around and show you that from the other side in a second as well. But you can see that power line that comes through there and continues through the roof and around the car. So let's head around to the other side here and catch a glimpse through to the steering wheel, how it looks on the inside of this side. So you can see we've got the engine start button to the lower right and the handling settings and controls to the left. So there are 4 different modes. There is the normal main mode to drive in. There is the Autobahn mode, which is of course the top speed mode, which allows the car to drive to 420 kilometers per hour, 261 miles per hour, whereas in normal mode it would drive to 380 kilometers an hour, of course slightly slower. That's the Autobahn mode. There's also the handling mode, which has speed limited, but maximum downforce with a drag coefficient of 0.4. So that's the handling mode. And then of course there's lift, because it is a very low car. You need the adaptive suspension to be lifted to make that possible. But this is really rather breathtaking to be here and be able to be taking a look at this car. Yeah, at its world preview. Interesting bit of design there also actually with the carbon fibre. You can see the way that line continues through the rear, just beneath the fuel caps. But I'm a little bit lost for words, because this is the world's first look at the latest iconic car from Bugatti. And if the Veyron and history is anything to go by, this is going to absolutely set standards and benchmarks in the current time. And it's just breathtaking to look at. It is just truly, truly, truly breathtaking. You can see where this was going. Bugatti told us that 1/3 of the cars have already been ordered, had deposits paid. 1/3 of that 500 run, so we can assume a little over 150 cars. I feel like I could just walk around this forever, just taking it all in, looking at the car, contemplating some of those statistics I've run over and told you about, looking at the design features that have gone into the Bugatti Chiron.
Ça force le respect, hein.
Yeah. That's a very, very special first opportunity to view the car. It is truly, truly, truly spectacular. So the global preview of the new Bugatti Chiron. You've seen it here for the very first time. Capable of in excess of 400 kilometers an hour. New tyres developed for the purpose, new tyres developed with Michelin. They give us some information about that. Improved in every way, every possible driving dynamic, and with exception of top speed, because of course that was already a target from the previous car. Satin carbon fibre on the dash, through the centre console. And that seat that you can see actually from this angle, you can see around towards the back, how it loops up and around, separating out the driver zone from the passenger zone. We've got a quick glimpse here of the inside with the door open. I can quickly talk about the two digital displays. Either side of that analog display in the centre, there are two digital displays. To the left is the car sort of based information, and to the right is the entertainment, sort of rear camera and that sort of functionality that you'd expect, immediate navigation or the like. There's a floating centre console as well. You can see just straight through the centre there behind the gear stick. A rather nice Chiron embroidery just there on the centre tunnel as well. Well, this is really a special opportunity to get the first glimpse at the Bugatti Chiron. It's going to set benchmarks for the next generation of super sports cars. As you can tell, it's proving rather popular here at the exclusive preview event, where Bugatti have shown this for the very first time.